And welcome to the Panel Podcast. First debut show. My name is Sean Thomas, aka Shawnee Maestro. That's the podcast name, the radio name. Once again, this is the Panel Podcast. First ever show. Before we start, I just want to tell everybody the purpose of the show. The purpose of the show is to get a panel of beautiful girls, handsome men together to talk about whatever the topic is. Dating and relationships, movies, music, sports, games, sex, yoga, health, fitness, golf, Cardi B and Offset, whatever the topic is. That's what we're going to do, okay? But on a more very serious note, I think it's very important for us to understand that our opinions and our thoughts, they count. You know what I'm saying? Like, if our votes count, words we say, things we do things we do every single day, it counts. And I just want us to, pick each other's brains, you know what I'm saying? So I guarantee you somebody's going to leave here knowing something about something in the dating and relationship world that they may use or they are using that they probably going to stop. So that's the biggest thing. So I'm going to introduce the panel. Now I'm start with myself, Sean, 29 years old, Brooklyn born, Brooklyn raised. You guys can't see me, but you guys will soon. I'm fat as fuck, but we'll get into that as well. All right. I'm going to introduce the panel now, starting with the beautiful ladies of the show, Miss Tashana. Introduce yourself, please.
Hey, my name is Tashana, Brooklyn, New York, Flatbush, big time Haitian, loving it. I'm not gonna say my age, but let you know I only date men 40 or better. That's it.
That is a indication. That's an indication.
Well, my name is Kia, a.k.a. mother of 4B. It's so sad to say it. I got 4 kids, 26, single, bitter, broken, a whole bunch of stuff underneath the sun. But cool.
Sunday, you got a lot to say, boo.
You're happy to meet too.
You got a lot.
A happy bitter bitch.
Bro, nice to meet you, boo.
Girl, I'm happy all the time, so you're gonna love it. You're like, hey.
Layla, Brooklyn, New York, and I'm dating.
Awesome. And she said the status. He said the status. I think I forgot my status. Single and ugly. Hector, please go.
I think you did.
Thanks for introducing me, Sean. My name is Hector. I'm in a relationship, and I'm 28 years old. I'll be 29 in a few weeks, or a few months, actually.
Huh.
My name, everybody call me Greg. But my name is Gregoire.
I see it.
Zoes, shout out to my Zoes. I'm 29. We'll be turning 30 in August. 29 from Brooklyn, East Flatbush, repping everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You turned 30. I turned 30 in August. Yeah. Oh, baby, that shade, but I got me looking like I'm 22.
I'm
That's what I'm saying.
Julio Ross, 32. And from Jamaica, born in Jamaica, came over here when I was young, about 6, and lived in every borough. Now I'm in Queens, and I am dating exclusively.
Yo, nobody here looked at age, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looked
I appreciate that, brother.
Black.
That black don't crack, baby.
Because I'm the oldest sister at the
baby.
table. Like, I'm the one you be like, I don't want to have that conversation for. Like, I'm literally the oldest sister at the table, so I appreciate that.
You were asking Ross something?
Yeah, like, how is Queens treating you?
Yeah, everyone here is Brooklyn, right?
Right.
Yeah. Brooklyn
Dating
also-
exclusively. So, like, how is Queens treating you? Because, it's funny because you don't meet. This is how I feel about Queens.
Right? You see, it's complicated.
I feel like this about Queens. You meet somebody with a nice car, but zero personality. You meet somebody who's taking the train with all the personality, and you sit back trying to figure out, well, how do you get around? Like, how can I date
They
you?
driving their parents' car.
I mean, I drive, but Queens is, I've always, I like Queens more than every other borough, except when it comes to driving in Brooklyn. Driving, if you're trying to get from one place to another, you take one road and it leads into another, and it's simple. Queens, you got to go to the left, to the right, up the center, back around. It's all types of.
He's talking about.
Yo, I swear that Queens has a First Avenue, First Street, First Road, First Place,
Like
Boulevard,
on my block, there
Ports.
is a road, a street, and an
It's
Ave
very similar
with the
to
same
dating.
number.
It's similar
With
to
the
dating.
same number.
You're
That
gonna
is
meet
nice.
Brown Skin Bunny. That's my name, by the way. IG, everybody. And it'll be Brown Skin Bunny at 119 Road, 119 Street. It's, so just think, that's how I look at Queens. Like, it's dating.
Very annoying.
Huh?
Very. It just doesn't make sense.
It's quiet though.
I agree.
Yo, it is, because I used to live in Queens, Greg, and Hector know they used to come in my crib and open my fridge door. Thanks, Hector. Stole me some juice. Thanks.
I went to college in Queens. It wasn't Queens College, but yeah, I went to Vaughan.
Oh yeah. I went to
All right, so the panel, the way that it's going to work, guys, that I'm going to ask a series of questions. I'll answer it, and then I'm going to pass it on to you guys. You guys answer it, and then interject. Feel free to cut each other off, but please be respectful. Just be respectful of each other's, words. Let the other person try and let the other person finish talking, unless
Giving
you
each
can't
other
help
time
it.
limits.
No, just be straight going
Going
talk.
until-
Be straight going talk. And then I feel like when the topic is done, when the question is done, we'll jump to question number 2 or 3.
Got it.
However much it'll be good, all right? First question I'm going to ask is, why is dating in 2018 so hard? And when I say by so hard, I feel like certain people don't know what they want. I feel like certain people know what they want, but their standards are so high, they miss out on Mr. Right or Mrs. Right or whatever that case is. And I feel like there's some people that ignore signs. I feel like someone says, I just want, just to, have sex, and it just be sex. And then, sex kind of complicates things, it just does, you know what I'm saying? So I'm confused. I need the 6 of you guys to help me out, because I'm kind of in a situation right now that is making dating hard. So ladies first. Tashana, you are up.
You think I should go first?
If you want to pass it on.
She go first, and I'll
You
be
know
the
what?
happy ending.
Layla is in my-
We'll make this like a massage parlor. She goes first and rubs you down. She gives you the.
Well, I don't know what her answer's going to be.
Happy
then I'll make
endings.
the happy
Right, she's
ending.
dating, so
Yeah,
she's
but
gonna have
she
that.
can,
Like,
she can say right.
So
let her
technically
date
for her, dating is not hard.
It's
So
not
Layla,
hard.
you know what?
Let her say the easy part.
You got to go first.
Right, you see?
Is dating hard? Is it not hard? Where is the state of dating in 2018?
I don't think dating is hard. I think you have to know what you're looking for, and it makes it easier, at least for me.
Easier in what way?
Easier in knowing exactly what I'm looking for. Like, if I'm looking for X, Y, and Z, that's what I'm going to pay attention to.
Interesting.
So how do you do that? Is that through dating app? Do you meet people in person? Like, because I think dating apps and texting is like the worst thing when it comes to dating.
Me too. Let me just say this. I think that knowing what you want doesn't have to do with the mechanism that you use to do it, whether it be a dating app or meeting a girl at the bar. Knowing that what you want is actually literally just that. What do I want from another person, and what do I want from a relationship or not a relationship? And once you get those things down pat in your head, whether you want to be with someone that's your life partner, you want to be with 2 people that y'all are the life trio, however you want to make that bet in your mind, once you get that done, then you can put yourself out there in the world and use whatever vehicles they have, whether it be an app, going out to the bar, a party, a light, whatever it is, you can then use that to get where you want to go.
Now that sounds nice.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was
That
thinking.
sounds nice. That
That's
sounds
exactly what I was thinking.
like
and all that.
Yeah,
Happy ending has to-
It doesn't work like that.
right?
good.
Just knowing what you want. Oh
It's
yeah, that's
technically
it.
going to always be hard for the simple fact of we look for other people to have what we want that we don't have for ourselves. As for me, I'm trying to find myself. I'm trying to make sure I know everything that there is about me, what I like, what I don't like. So if this person does come across my path, even if they lack it, I'm okay because I have it. Right about now, it's like the only thing you can look for with dating in 2018 is somebody to have fun with, because sex does complicate things. It's going to make you feel like, you want to be with them, you don't want to be with them. Or you could be like me and you're like, you know what? I got 4 already. Sex isn't even on the menu right about now. You're going to have to give me something else. And I might be passing my blessings by not going out and seeing these guys and going to their home, but it's a lot of things that I feel as though they lack completely, which is just straight conversation. Like, if you're going to write me every other day, hello, good morning, and then you say, oh, no, I was working for 3 days, you make time for what you want. I don't want to hear that. So it's like right now, you just got to know yourself, have fun, try and get to see if you can find somebody that gravitates towards your energy. Like, don't try and look for your equal. I don't ever want to try and date somebody that's like me. I'd kill me. So I cannot date.
Well, damn.
I want somebody that's going to be able to, like, you know what? I see where she's going with this. I'm going to go to the left. Respect my space. Know that we compatible, but we're not that compatible. You can't solve me. You can't figure me out. But
Right.
you could kind of, like, take my mind off of things like that. So it's not that hard. But 2018 with these,
Fuck boys, yeah. Say it, you know.
I ain't gonna say that because I'm a
it.
fuck girl.
I didn't even.
That's why
I
she's.
didn't even know there was
That's
one.
why she's on the show. That's why
It's
she's on the
kinda
show.
complicated, but you gotta have fun. We young.
Word.
Don't look for marriage. No time frame. Have fun.
Can I look?
Yeah.
Now I think there's many factors that go into making relationships complicated in 2018. First and foremost, I think like looking for somebody else, you got to find yourself, as we just discussed before. But I think what people look for is just like, I think you got to be a whole of yourself first before you find another person. Because I think what people do, they're already half of themselves and they're trying to find that other half to come together and make a whole. I feel like you got to be a whole together and then find somebody else. And also, I think it's also the culture, because we live in this like microwave culture in the terms of like when you going, I think, me personally, online dating, I'm not a fan of it because I think it makes it, I think it allows people to make less of an effort in a sense.
It impersonal.
Yeah. And on top of that, like think about it. Think about if there was no social media, no online dating apps, how else would you meet people? You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't be meeting 10 girls or 10 women at the same time. So it's easy just to like not even take time to get to know someone. As long as you find like the tiniest flaw, you could just be like, all right, next one. So we got too many options right now. I think at this point that makes things so like easy to the point where you're just like, all right, whatever. Like if you're just looking for a one night stand, nobody's like, you going online. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Rather than, and it's so not impersonal, like because social media itself is like we create a perception for ourselves that we want people to see, and we leave a lot of things out. You know, really to like actually find out who we really are. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to give the happy ending, baby. I'm about to give that happy ending.
Yeah, boo.
This is how I feel. The problem, I don't have issues with dating in 2018. I have issues with nobody wanting to take you out on a date. That's the thing that bothers me.
I like that
Like
shit,
I'm one of
too.
those people. Look, I'm a little bit older than y'all, right? And I've dated, had a kid, was in a healthy relationship, then it turned bad. So I've been through it all. But what I've learned is that we do tend to look for ourselves and others because a lot of us come from broken homes. We have broken emotions, like we're not emotionally honest. And once you are honest, like meaning like not your truth, the truth, then you see a difference in dating. You get what I'm trying to say? The happy ending is this. We all know what we want because we all pretty much want the same thing. It's about going about how we go about it. And nobody wants to go about it correctly. We all want to go about it through a visage. Like we have this visual thing, like how we want to look, how we want to be perceived, and how we want the person that we want to be with to be perceived. Like I love rappers. I love rappers. If a motherfucker look like Nas, 6'3", or like look, I love a rapper. Like I love a dude who just look like he could rap. And he may not know how to rap, but I like it.
Looks like he could rap.
Yeah, he look like he could rap.
I gotta write that down.
But sometimes we,
Copyrighted by Tashana.
we do fall in love with the image of a person rather than the person itself.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like, it's
The
like
outside, yes,
Like
yes.
it's like a crush.
This
like,
is the '90s rappers, not the 2011.
Oh no! These
So
are
not
that
the-
little Uzi
Not
Vert
Uzi Vert.
kid,
Oh,
no,
God.
he's
Oh,
a
God.
very handsome kid in the face. Like he's a very you see, because y'all not a mother, but when y'all have kids, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm actually pointed and y'all said y'all not a
She
mother.
was a
Whoa.
I mean,
I mean, you're not mother, right? But you're not
I
parents.
forgot. You know,
That scared me for a
I know what
second.
you was
You know, I have a,
I understood,
I have
but-
a my son, you know, I don't really deal with fathers. I hate to say it like that, but like for real, when you become a parent, you tend to start noticing features because there be some kids where you be looking at like, how the fuck this lady sitting back her baby mad cute, and you like. But you start noticing features. Like when my son put me onto that little boy talking about, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna do what I want. I was like, oh my God. Then I started watching the video with him and I was like, oh, he's so cute. And he's very friendly. So he has a very nice face. But that's not my type. I wouldn't mess with him. But I do like rappers. I love like Swiss Beats. That's the love of my life. I feel like Alicia Keys got my man.
Before we move on, I just want to ask this question. You said the original question is why is dating so hard in 2018?
In your opinion.
My question is, let's remove the 2018. When was dating any better? When was the golden age
1950 something.
word.
of dating? 1950 something.
1950
My mom wasn't
something
born yet,
down
bro.
to 1970 something.
When women were seen
1984
as
when they were singing songs begging you to come back.
when women were seen as objects on a man's arm in that time.
Women are still being seen as objects, by the way.
Well, my
eye
grandparents been
candy.
married almost 56 years, and that was during
God
the era
bless them,
where
Kia.
they
Oh,
didn't
man.
have no social media. You went to work, you came home, you paid your bills.
That's what I'm saying.
Now they don't have
Real
that.
quick,
Access that we have to
real
stuff.
quick, real quick. I think that's caca. I'm being honest with you. I think people don't want to fight for it no more. Like,
They
for
don't.
instance, I'm a pretty girl, right? I am pretty, guys, if you're out there. I'm a pretty girl. But one thing I noticed with a lot of men, when they realize, like, I'm a pretty girl that comes with a brain, it bugs them out. I'm a pretty girl who comes with certain standards, it bugs them out. Men and women, because women are they're not fighting either. They're like sitting back, they want to complain because that drama feels good for them. And the same thing with men, because you know what I realized? I always tell people, nobody cheats just because they wake up in the morning and say, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to cheat. Something is lacking. And you could place blame on, I could place blame on Kia, but she don't cook for me. I'm always cooking. If you want somebody to cook for you, you will fight to be with somebody who will cook for you.
You gonna have
So-
to bring home the food because I ain't cooking for no reason. I'm
See?
sorry. It's
See,
just-
but somebody who know that they need you to just cook shouldn't take her seriously. It's the same way that I know I
Right.
need somebody who has to have a conversation with me. I can't be with somebody who's twirling his thumbs.
Yeah.
So that's why I know why I'm single, but that's because I started being honest with myself.
Right.
So fuck social media. Social media have nothing to do with it.
It's a factor. I'm not saying that's the complete thing, but like I think things come so easy to us in today's culture that to the point where we don't really, because like dating someone, you're never gonna find a perfect someone. So you gotta like also love the imperfections and flaws. Like you know what I mean. Sometimes I understand that I could be stubborn. You gotta fight for it. I understand I could be stubborn sometimes. You know what I'm saying. But that's like a flaw that also gotta be accepted. You know what I mean.
I admit I agree with your point about how back in the day how different things were, and I think that's just a shift in how society is and is changing. And today I see everyone's complaining about how social media is changing things, but one thing I think we have to remember is that social media is literally relatively new. 10 years old is literally, we're all older than social media. So as people, we don't know the power of it and what it can and can't do. And also what it has done, what it has done is opened up our life, each of us, to millions of people that we would not have been open to. As
That's very true.
My
1945,
second baby father.
in 1945,
I blame Facebook.
in 1945, if you live in your community, chances are you're probably finding someone within 50 miles tops of that
Far
community.
Rockaway, Queens.
Today,
This is why
I can
Queens-
find someone living in Chile and be married to her in 2 years because of social media.
But so
Very
what you're
true,
saying
that's
is
very
that
true.
It's an international thing, but that's not what's messing. Y'all want to blame social media?
No, it's saying you see
y'all.
why is it harder in 2018? Social media is one of the reasons why it's harder in
I don't
2018.
Very
agree.
true.
I
It
don't
takes
agree
out
with
the
that.
time
I
for
hate to
having
say
it.
that.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
agree
with you. I don't agree social
with
media is
that.
why
I'm
it's
sorry.
harder.
I'm on Bumble, and
What is that?
This is the first I heard of that.
But you see, the
Let me
way
download that shit.
you have to pay
But,
for it.
but you see,
Oh, I ain't gonna download
Oh,
that
that's a
shit.
serious
You
one,
have to
though.
have that profile
That's a
about
serious one.
yourself.
You pay for
Right.
it.
No, but I
Things
have
you're
to pay for
interested
it.
in.
Yeah, I pay
Things
for
that
it.
you like.
Right, and
Now, if-
I meet a lot of qualified men, but after the second or third conversation, I realized that I attract a lot of men that I don't want to be with. So I have to sit back and be like, oh, this is nice. But I don't believe that. I believe that look, I'm one of those females, I would kick this her man. I would. If I see somebody that I want to talk to, I would say, hey, how you doing tonight? Would you like
Still
to go
waiting
out
for
to
that
dinner?
Uber driver to text me, by the way.
Damn.
I shot
See? Like,
Damn.
there's nothing wrong with that. I don't feel social media has that. I feel like anybody who says that, and I have this argument with one friend over and over again. I feel like anybody who says because, you know, it's easy to get the IG chick and so on and so forth. At the end of the day, they're all lacking something. Even though you put yourself on that line, you go and you DM them. They still lacking something because they all want the same thing that we want. But they taking those pictures. They're on social media because they need that attention.
It's very true. One of the problems I also see is that people tend to, how do I put this? People tend to not wait for what's right. What's the word I'm looking for? Settle. People tend to settle, and because
I
all right,
settle.
like, like I have friends who be like, I love him, but he's a pain in the ass and stuff like that. And I don't feel the love of your life should be a pain in the ass.
But we were conditioned.
Now I
we're
know
conditioned
that's
that way. We're
a-
conditioned
now-
that way.
Now I do know that that's a
Conditioned by
term.
who?
We are conditioned,
Conditioned
that way.
by
Think
who?
about it.
Women are more conditioned.
We
like
are.
that.
We are. Wait, is it your homeboy who said that?
My homegirl.
Now I feel like
okay, see,
I
that's
feel
what
like-
I'm
I
saying.
feel
We're
like-
conditioned that way.
I feel like-
not so much men.
I
but
feel like
women
I feel like
are.
women are conditioned like that because of you know, they feel like they're more pressed for time. And I get what Sean is saying. It's like at times I meet personally a lot of women. I feel like they go for what's available
rather than wait for what's
than wait
right.
for
Me and
what's
Greg have
right.
this conversation all the
You
time.
know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like honestly, be real for me. I don't want a woman just to like me because I'm a nice guy. I want you to be like, yo, he's everything. You know
I
what
like
I'm
him
saying?
because he's fat. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's fat.
Like this belly. Thank
Like,
you
know
very
what I'm
much.
saying? Like, not just because, all right, he's a nice guy. I could deal with him for the next 20, 30
Right,
years.
right.
Like, I think that's what
that
people,
connection.
you want that real connection. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people is going for what's available because of being scared of, like, they might not never find what they actually looking for. You know what I'm saying?
Another issue, and I think one of you girls was getting to it. People have a problem with being consistent. Consistency is, when it comes to that, like it's like the guy that takes you girls for 3-4 days and then they go away, like,
That ghosting.
Can I?
and then it's like the chicks that respond to us for like 3-4 days and then it's like, baby, where did you go?
Can I?
Like, I thought we had something.
But not
I thought we had
I
something.
thought I was feeling this guy.
Well, I was recently trying to talk to a guy, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt. You know, he has a lot of things that I don't have, so I can't expect him to have it. Only thing I asked him for was conversation and time. It was, I gotta work, I got my daughter, good morning Texas, then the good morning Texas faded away, and then when I post something on Instagram, it's, oh, but I thought we were talking. No. You did the one thing that I asked you to do, which was not give me conversation and attention, and I'm not asking you to take me to the movies.
Can I?
But
Let me interject.
go.
Let me just say what you said about consistency. I think it's one of those things that it's a sign written in people that we can all see, but we just don't want to admit to. As a woman and a guy, if you go meet someone and you say to them, "Oh, well, how long have you had that phone number?" and they say, "Oh, I change my phone number every 6 months." What makes you think that they have any type of consistency to be with someone for a long term? If they're always changing things about their life,
That's what you
if
call a
there's no
Snapple fact,
consistency
my friend.
in the other aspects of their life, what makes you think that all of a sudden, oh, I'm in dating, I'm gonna be consistent? You
So
can't
if
just
they're
wake
not
up-
consistent with life, they
yeah, like if you're not,
consistent
in a sense, if you're not a consistent person,
No,
you can't just be
but
consistent
Hector,
in one thing
you
only.
pointed out something so true. A lot of people don't like admitting their inconsistencies. Like, for instance, I'll use me as an example. I'm one of those people, I like what I like. But I would give everybody a chance. And it took,
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it real, it took me about 2 years to finally admit, like, to say to Amanda, I don't like that. Like, you know what? I'm not going to waste your time. It took me forever to do that. But for a long time, yeah, he liked me too. He liked me. He's walkable. Let's go.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
takes
it
it
was
takes a
almost
lot of
settled.
humility to do that
I
as a
almost
person.
settled.
You
Well,
gotta-
now I feel great.
Because-
Thank you for the compliment, sir.
No, actually, no, seriously.
Wow.
No, I'm dead serious. Feel great about that. Being having humility
Being
as
sure of yourself.
a person is not something easy for us to do, and it goes back to when you talk about the way we've been trained and conditioned. We haven't been conditioned to be
consistent.
To be consistent,
Was-
honest.
and was humble. That's the word. I'm looking for.
humble,
And be
yeah.
humble as people. When you start being humble and realizing our flaws, then we can say, oh, well, you know what? Maybe I'm not consistent. So let me start with the small thing first, aka make my bed up every morning.
Right.
And then you just build from there, and you just go along, and then eventually, when you start doing, what do you start doing? You start working on yourself, and then you'll see things will change.
I know I'm always late, you know, working on that.
like today.
Right. So
Like
it's
today.
things like that, you know.
Yeah, because he did say get here by 5:20. I tried. I tried.
No, not y'all, Greg. No, me
By
and
the
Greg
skin
were
of my
supposed to ride
teeth,
here.
That'll let you
Yeah,
know
but I
I'm
told
the
you,
kind
hey,
of
I'm not
girl
gonna make it. I'll meet you there.
You told me you wasn't gonna make it at the time you were supposed to meet me,
Nah,
bro.
it was 4 o'clock. I was supposed to be at your crib at 4:15.
Or,
So I gave you 15 minutes.
you ever seen that Haitian meme where the guy's in the shower still? Like I thought you were supposed to be Yo, you like what? 10 minutes away?
Well, I didn't see it, so I can't laugh at
You
it.
probably wouldn't even understand it.
It sounds
There's
funny and
definitely an
stuff.
inside joke, though.
It sounds funny and stuff.
Yeah, it was at HP. Yeah, it
We
was at
gotta.
HP.
I think also one of the things we don't do often is we don't.
Wrap it up, Hector.
Okay.
So after this, we'll change to the next one.
We have to put aside ourselves when we're looking at people. We have to look at their entirety of themselves, not just what as Facebook and social medias, they allow you to present a picture to them, but what you want to get is beyond that picture, and it does take a couple days sometimes to get to that point.
Let me just say this real quick because I think that's caca again. People have the most beautiful pictures, but when you read their posts, Like I tell people all the time, within 5 minutes you can get to know a person. Let me tell you why you can get to know a person within 5 minutes. Let me tell you why you can get to know a person within 5 minutes. You can only pretend to be something you're not until you don't want it no more. And within 5 minutes you can tell
Facebook
whether or
status.
not you really want to be there. Okay, so that's just cockeyed again. That's just cockeyed again.
So I know you want to move on.
There's such powerful words. There's such
Look.
powerful
All right,
words.
we all just met here today, right? I guarantee you, if we met on social media, the connection that we made today would have took a way longer process.
Definitely, because I'd have thought
Of
he
course.
was
I'll give you a
cocky
perfect
and
example.
conceited.
Me
I'd have
and
thought he was a
Sean-
pretty boy.
No.
He'd have been just looking
No.
like somebody's
But I'm gonna give you the perfect
I
example.
always get that though.
I'm gonna give you the perfect example. Sean and I work together at Night Show, and I'm a very friendly person. I love talking to everybody. I, don't care
I
who you
couldn't
are.
tell. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I know, right? And Sean was quiet, and I was like, "Oh hell no, not until Sean to watch." And I would just talk to him, and we didn't. I mean, we became friends. We followed each other on social media. We're both soca
Soca
crashers,
addicts.
Right?
Right.
And we started realizing we have more and more in common. We're going to the same places, but we don't bump into each other.
Right.
But technically, Sean and I only really known each other for 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
Literally
5 seconds.
So essentially, what you're saying is that knowing someone in a real sense for 5 seconds is worth more than knowing someone in a fake sense for 50 minutes or 50 years.
Yeah.
30 years.
Yes.
You get to
Because you
actually
get
know how
the
they
real-
are, the
like-
vibe.
Hector, it just looks like you just learned something new. That is
I
the
did.
purpose of the show.
I appreciate that because I felt I should have been a
That's
teacher
the
for a long
purpose
time.
of the
Human.
show.
I'm trying to be humble. I'm not a
All
humble
right?
person.
I appreciate that. But
That's the
no,
purpose
it's
of the show.
very true. Like, for instance, I'm a vibe person, so once everybody walking, I could tell. Like, Layla's quiet, so it would just take.
I
little
couldn't
getting
tell.
into.
I'm just
Hey,
saying.
You know, it would just take a
Hi,
little bit
Layla.
getting into. Kai right here is kind of like, I'm just gonna shoot the shit and I'm gonna let you know what's real.
Fuck with it though.
Right, she's just gonna right. Roy's here, he kind of observing. He gonna watch, rude boy status. Okay, Greg, just a nice regular guy.
Yeah, thank you.
You
He
know,
looks like somebody that
right?
would make me laugh all day long.
Facts.
But wait,
That's what it looks like.
but don't sleep because Greg will also, if you do one thing that turns him off, is I could just tell he'll be like, nah, I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
I kid you
Yeah.
not. Let me to co-sign her story.
She right, though.
I kid you not. We have. I probably won't put on the air, but there definitely is a few stories from. I went to high school with Greg, and there's a few people that he does not fuck with because of that. There was one thing turned him off, and to
that's
this
it.
I'm gonna
day,
say bye.
that was the
Right?
that was the end
And
of it.
Hector here
That's me.
is one of those. Well, I don't drink. But I'll tell you.
Yeah, right. I was like, what?
stop, please
Is that what
stop.
this
And
is?
Hector here is one of those. Everything's introspective.
We passing the
with
Ciroc
him,
around, guys.
Right? Everything's introspective with him. Like he has to have a deeper insight. It has to be insightful. If it's not insightful, he's like, I don't need to waste my time. I'm walking away.
You don't know me.
Well,
I feel you,
But like
Papa.
I'm saying, like
I
that,
feel you.
But like
I
I'm saying,
feel
I'm
you.
saying
Okay.
that 10 minutes that we just had with each other, we got that from each other.
Right.
We
Yeah.
wouldn't get that
You
10 minutes
get
we had
that
with each
on
other. We
social
got
media.
that from each other. We wouldn't get that.
What's your
Through
Just
like,
saying.
through the
Just
internet.
saying.
Out there.
No, that's crazy because I do love social media, but for dating, it's not a great.
Ross.
I'm
I
not
think-
gonna lie. I see a lot of good-looking
don't
men. I don't
find
kick it to
your
them, but I
baby
love
mother
them.
or baby father on social media.
No.
If you meet somebody on social media,
I'm
don't have
out.
their baby.
So what you saying? Don't slide in nobody DMs.
Like, yo,
Don't
I could
slide in
never
no
do that. I could
DMs.
never slide in a DM. I could never. I've never done it.
I'll be more attracted to the image than the person.
The
You know what I'm
most I
saying?
do,
I
I'm
know how
not
to
gonna
separate the two.
lie. I sit in this guy's DM because he was so sexy, man. And his Pelton waist was like, whoa, I need to pelt on that.
She went from Haitian to Trini real
Right,
quick, yo.
yeah.
Where you
Oh
from,
man.
Flatbush? You have-
When you from Flatbush, you can talk every lung, okay?
You can rap Lady Island when you from Flatbush.
And yo, we went to a party, we danced with each other, and when I say that wine,
Give
whoa.
this little wine.
So I slid into his DM. And I said all kind of nasty things to him. And let me tell you something.
He left you on scene.
No, what happened is he's called my baby father, and I didn't know that.
Oh!
Oh,
Damn.
that sounds like we should change
What?
change what the topic is. Change the question.
I changed the
I'm
topic.
Your baby daddy
I'm
might be
changing
listening. He's gonna
Unless-
turn
I
the
wish he
mic.
would.
And if my
Yo,
baby
that was
daddy
great, yo.
listening-
That was great. That was really, really good, and it seemed like Hector learned something. But I honestly, not to be selfish here, I kind of asked you that question for my sense. I told Greg to
Every
death.
question you ask it is for your answer.
Yeah, facts.
Oh, my fault. Wasn't supposed to say that? My fault.
Maybe 3 of the 20, Greg, not all 20.
Not all 18. It's 20?
It was 20.
I mean, we're not gonna get to 20. I'm just saying. That's,
Oh, all right. Yo, you saw my man's though. I love you though.
I love you too.
What's
sometimes.
this, banana? Oh, pineapple. Okay.
You said banana?
Banana?
That Haitian accent came out.
Anyway, ladies, gents, that was really, really good. That was really, really good. Question number two.
Number two.
We going two?
I think it's like 4 right now.
Didn't he say we're not going to get through everything?
We're not gonna get through everything, right?
Focus. Number two.
Y'all gonna leave here
I wanna
like
answer
we don't want no
questions.
skinny bitches.
Question number
With
2.
kids.
I'm gonna have y'all.
Tashana
face some
brought this to
skinny
my
bitches.
attention the other day, so I promised that I would, mention it in the dating sense, and we kind of mentioned it during, but it's an official question now. I'm gonna start with the dudes, okay? Ross, go for it, because I'm sure we've all done it at some point. Why do we talk to someone and then all of a sudden just go ghost? Like we just all of a sudden just like go off the face of the map. And before Ross, you go. My thing is from a guy's point of view, because I've done this too.
Short attention
Sometimes that's like 5th on the list, but first on the list is most likely I was going after her just to get some ass, and I probably found myself I was working a little too hard. Because you can ask Greg. Me and Greg view ourselves as kings and pharaohs and gods and shit, right,
Y'all
Greg?
all kings.
I'm a god.
Y'all all kings.
I am an
Exactly.
African king.
So I feel like if I'm working a little bit too hard for something, I'll be like, nah.
I'm a
Or-
god. What am I working so
Or
hard?
in the other sense,
Why should
I
it be so
could have
easy?
already got it, and then like I didn't like you as I said I did. So
You
it's
lied.
like
Manipulation.
so. Ross, Greg,
Why do
Hector,
lions
and then we
have
go.
short attention
The
span?
to the
actual
girls.
question is,
The actual question is, why do we talk to
why
someone
do you go ghost?
and then go ghost? Right?
In my the way I am, I always try to be honest first. So I'm like I don't care if it hurts your feelings. I'd rather you know the truth because I would rather know the truth. So
Don't fall for it. That's growth.
so
growth.
the first
Trust me.
So I would honestly, if I'm gonna go ghost on someone, I don't go ghost. I tell them the real reason why. Whether it be I got somebody else or I normally don't even try to get sex involved at this point, but I used to. So back then, I would probably say I would go ghost, but I would lie and be like, it just didn't work out. But
or the most common
that was
curve.
a long time ago.
The most common curve.
It's me, not you.
No, I'm busy.
That is the comment.
Nobody busy is one. Yo, I swear, busy is.
You hit me with
Busy is the
I'm
number
blocking
one
you,
curve.
Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat.
As you should
everything.
be blocked.
About being.
Especially if I
Hector,
give
go
you
ahead.
puss.
I mean, I'm gonna answer the question first. I'm gonna go back to being busy. Because busy used to be a tactic for me. A tactic, yeah. To answer the question about why dudes go ghost, I honestly just think that they just don't have the heart. Because it's just being honest. Like, for whatever reason you started talking to her, at the very least, if you're done with her, at least give her that closure. Because again, that's all. And that's one of the
That's what you
benefits
would
of
want
social
for
media.
yourself, right?
One of the benefits of
Like,
social
if a
media
girl
is
went ghost on you. You want to know why,
right. You don't have to come to her face and say it. You got social media. Just send her a little message like, you know what? I'm sorry, it didn't work out. Yada yada.
I owe a couple
Keep
of
it.
people some apologies.
Just keep it honest like that. And let me just say about being busy. For me personally, that was a tactic when I was single because I'm in a relationship now. That was a tactic for me. It helped me out because one, I actually really was busy. I was going to school and I was working, being a father, and doing all of that. And two, it helped me out because it kind of gave me it allowed me to control the interaction with the girls. So what would happen is they had to work on my time. So if I didn't want to do anything, hey, I'm busy. But if I do want to do something, I hit them up, and it's like, and they kind of felt like, oh
You're making
wow,
time.
he got time for me
You're
today.
making time.
So it made me look even better when I did find the time. I did find it.
Manipulation is real.
Hector,
The
that
manipulation is
Hector,
real
that
here.
Hector, that is reason number 1008 why chicks think that men ain't shit. I'ma just say for you. But
I
Greg,
mean,
go
women
ahead.
manipulate us all the time. I mean,
Oh, we gonna get on that, Ross. But Greg,
Nah, me personally, I unintentionally ghost people. Reason why, like, I'm very like sociable. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I meet a woman that asks for my number. I'm not even thinking in the back of my mind like that asking my number on some like I'm interested in you. I'm just like, all right, cool, we vibing, we out, da 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 da. But sometimes personally things just phase out. Like, and it's a.
We ain't cousins. We're not.
I
acting
know,
we're just
but
like,
I've learned that. I've learned that, and now I have to realize, like, okay, because I'm looking at it like, yo, I'm just like that with everybody. The same way I treat women, I treat men. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if I'm having a conversation with a woman, it's no different how I would have a conversation with Sean or Hector or anybody else. So I'm not really going in. When I'm trying to talk to somebody, you know straight off, like it's the strong presence, like, yo, I'm into you. But sometimes it's not clear what this is, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, all right, maybe she just think I'm a
women
cool
are not
person.
good at the communication.
You know what I'm saying? So things kind of just phase out sometimes. But recently I called someone and I was just like, yo, you know, I apologize if you felt like I was hurting you, that was my intentions, I did that, you know what I'm
It
saying?
really was. You ain't shit, but
Nah, it wasn't because we met at a party and she was like wild drunk. So I'm like, and we was all drinking, so he's like, "Oh, let me get your number." I was like, "All right, cool, man. I ain't take it too serious." You know what I'm saying? Heat of the moment.
So what you saying? Did you smash and let it go?
Nah, I didn't smash. I
Oh.
didn't smash for the record, just in case she might hear this. I did not
I know when the
smash.
guys do it.
No, I mean, well,
Well,
talk
since the
from
guys
your
have
sen-
gone,
yeah,
yes.
you can talk from your, you know.
How many times have you ghosted?
and for the record, guys, Layla's very pretty. So I know she's curved 1 or 80 guys in her
least
life.
4.
But yes,
At least 4
at
today.
least 4. He said 4
On
today.
the way here.
On the way here.
But Layla, go ahead.
FYI, I rarely curve. If I'm talking to you, I'm interested. But if I do curve, it's because you said something that I found unattractive and unappealing, and I just withdraw. Like, for example, I was talking to someone, and the first thing he wanted to talk about was sex. I'm not interested in that. So I'm pulling back, and I'm ghosting on that one. You can text me good morning all day. I'm not answering you.
Oh man,
But I think that's a good thing for women, though. The guys that will text you straight off the bat, like, "Yo, I want sex," or like,
least
"Yo,
you know
let
his
them
intentions.
eliminate, let them eliminate
At least you know
themselves."
his intentions.
Like I when I see it on a dating website where a girl is like, "Oh, please don't text me this, that, and the third," I'm like, "Don't do that, because you're giving them the rule book. Let them eliminate themselves, so you know what it really is."
Layla, a question. So, matter of fact, damn, Greg, you just said that. So, it didn't like. All right, so it seemed like the guy was just like up front. So, you just cut him off instead of probably saying, well, you know what, this is what he wants. So
They're
you
not
know,
interested in the same things, though.
right. So
Yeah.
you're not interested in the same thing. Has it ever happened to you? Like, have you ever been talking to a guy and then he just went ghost? Probably not, but I mean, I'm just asking.
She said no.
No.
And like I said, on a scale from 1 to 10, she's like a 14. So
Pretty privilege right there.
Kia,
Do I ghost?
yes.
Of course. Without question. Like I said, if I'm trying to get to know you and I'm genuinely trying to find somebody that I feel should be a significant other, I take the time out to even bag you. And your response to me is good morning, and then you just randomly say, hey, I was going through my phone, I want to send you a dick pic.
Yeah.
Ghost. Because at the end of the day now, it's like, I could have slept with you from the jump and I could have been done with you. I was really trying to, take this further than what it was, and you showed me that you just want that. And I mean,
Keep sending those
being
dick pic, guys.
honest,
Keep eliminating yourselves.
I respect honesty. Let me know up front so I could tell you up front, no, not you. It's not you, it's me. It's just some days as females, you gotta mind fuck me first. If I allow you to sleep with me, it's really because I don't have no interest in you. I'm not even gonna hold you guys. Like,
Sapiosexual.
first night, if I sleep with you, I don't plan on ever dating you for the rest of my life. Honestly.
real?
No, honestly.
So it wasn't like so it's not like he got your drawers.
I just feel like you just haven't met nobody that turns you on like
So
that.
it's like he
No,
didn't get
actually,
your
I
drawers.
did, but
You gave him the.
He's married, so
She's
we
a
just
fuck
gonna leave
girl.
that at that.
That's what a fuck girl is.
So,
But she said that.
Is that what a
She
fuck girl is?
A fuck girl.
She
She
said-
said that.
It's like,
I didn't know what it was though. That's the first time I heard it.
it's the same answer.
What do you think of Just flip the gender.
He said I gave it up.
Mr. Shana.
I'm from the era where we didn't get to ghosts
Oh yes, that's because you.
because you would see them on the
Charlene was
block.
still
You know what I mean?
speaking
All right.
So you couldn't ghost. You had to keep it 100. I've been ghosted recently, right? But what I find interesting is that we're still friends on social media. I know why I'm his friend because I want to know what the fuck he's doing. I'm interested, right? But I just don't understand how he ghosted me because this dude was FaceTiming me, doing all kinds of shit, and I was just like, this was new to me, and we're around the same age. You're FaceTiming?
You making it seem like
It seems like that's a lot of interest, right?
Yeah. So
Too interested in you?
no, I mean, I mean, I'm not young. Like,
Tashana's 29. She's playing with y'all, man.
But
Dirty 30, man.
But all right. But yeah. So I got ghosted, and the funny, like I said, we're still friends on social media. But what I noticed is that I think he just follows me to see what I'm doing. Like, while I would like his pictures, we got kids. I like his pictures. I like stuff about him. He don't like nothing about me. So I'm just sitting back like, well, you know, look, it's not like you kicked it to me. I'm not gonna be mad. I ain't fuck you. You know, like I feel like people feel it when they give something. Like what she said, like she was like, she goes to do when they bring up sex. That means you like son, but you didn't know that son may have liked something about you, but not want to be with you. And I know it's a lot of young women say this to me, like, you know, it's just like. I mean, like, I get it. A good dick pic don't hurt nobody. My friend got a dick pic with a nigga dick looked like it was on hydraulics. So a good dick pic don't hurt nobody. That's what I got to say.
24s? Good.
If I get text
It
on
went-
24, you texting and you sending me good morning
And he
texts.
sent it in slow motion.
My shit just blew, but that's
was that a
all.
gift?
No, he sent it. He knew how to
He
do
said,
it.
was that a
Visual.
gift?
Like,
That's
I-
wild.
Yo, we were like,
I mean, I don't dispute
I
it.
never
Dick
thought
pic
about
is
that.
good.
Right.
Kaya
For
on
the-
CNN,
for the short
on
video?
date,
Kaya
on
on
Broop,
CNN.
broop.
Broop,
All I'm
broop.
saying is, sometimes a good dick pic don't hurt nobody, alright? Because
It
you
hurts
may not
my
even
phone.
want to go on a date with son when he start talking.
No, I love food.
Tashana, he sent a dick video.
So
He sent
wait,
a dick
you
video.
saying-
Okay, see?
So you're saying
That's what I'm
dick
saying.
pics
That's what I'm
actually
saying.
work?
You gotta be something wrong.
Dick pics don't work. Dick videos work.
All I'm saying
Oh
is,
yeah, that's a dick
his-
video.
all I'm saying is that dick video was popping.
Send the dick
It wasn't
videos,
for
guys.
me,
Videos,
yo.
no more
Me,
pics.
I got, you know, like I said, I don't date men younger than me. I'm gonna keep it real. Like that's not happening.
Why not?
I need to start.
I'm not into
I
young
need to
guys.
start.
My thing is when I reference things, I need you to say, I need you to have the same feeling or know what I'm talking about.
So he just has to be well cultured.
Like I feel like the
I know his
youngest I
history.
can do is probably 3.
3 what?
3
3 years younger than you?
Not 3
3 years younger than
Okay,
me.
come on, guys. Come on now. Let's
hey,
maintain our sanity here.
Crazy
She wasn't
about
listening
Maintain
for
our
a
sanity
second.
here.
She wasn't
That's
listening
the
for a
youngest
second.
I can
Greg,
do. He could be
really?
3 years younger than
You
me.
really?
Can I throw a statement out here to the girls?
Yes.
Right about now, I want my nigga straight out the womb. Because it's like,
You could train them, right? Let me train them.
I have a son already. I can't do that. I don't want to train nobody.
Ladies.
Training doesn't work.
if I gotta take
Go
over
ahead.
his mom's left me with, it's a hassle.
I've
Go ahead,
often
man.
felt this way for years that as a woman, you know within the first 30 seconds whether or not you're gonna be with the guy,
5 minutes.
and from that point on,
Yeah.
it's upon the guy to mess it up from there.
That's right.
Is that true?
I think it takes longer than 30 seconds, but I would
5
always
minutes.
agree.
It don't take 5 minutes.
5 minutes, I
If you
know.
have a nasty ass laugh,
I don't
you
know. I feel like,
can't be with that person.
but guys slide in all the time where y'all don't realize that this guy is really good, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, he's
But
really
he
funny.
He made, no, 5 minutes. Let me tell
Like you
something.
find that out 2 months later.
You are who you are. Evian, preach that word, Greg. Preach that word. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day,
But like Sean was quiet when you met him, but you ain't know that he really had jokes and y'all could really vibe.
I knew that. That's why I jumped on it. What are you talking
Right?
about?
No, he was quiet. But all right, let's say to like you were
But
trying
that's
to date a
because 5
person.
minutes.
Sean's quiet around.
That's
He
because
said 5 minutes.
but that's because 5 minutes. I looked in his eyes. I felt his spirit. You get what I'm trying to say?
All right.
But 5 minutes, like I'm the type of person. I feel like everybody have a type. Like for instance, a lot of women would see Layla walking and be intimidated. I won't, because I know the guy I mess with don't want her. You get what I'm trying to say? The same way, if I walk in and I'm not standing up. But, I'm pretty hefty, and a lot of women would be like,
That bitch thick.
but that nigga don't like that man don't like my kind of thickness. And this is why I say you have to know your mate well. The same way, like my son's father. I'm just gonna tell y'all a little story real quick. My son's father
She with a skinny
accused me of cheating, right?
Oh.
Right? And he
Accusations.
accused me of cheating
When did she beat us?
with somebody
When did you beat
that I
her?
wasn't attracted to, that I would never be attracted to because he wanted to deflect from what he was doing. So I feel like some people know they kind of know what you like, but they just want to use it as to
My
get
baby
themselves
father
out
ain't
of
know my
something.
type.
I'll-
If I was cheating with the fat nigga around the corner,
I can-
skinny nigga up the
Nah.
block, and then with the chick.
And I
can-
can't-
have a
I
type.
can't- I
I like
can't-
personality.
I can't be with somebody who don't know me.
I can
So
piggyback
that's
off
not
of
gonna
Tashana real quick
That's not gonna work.
about types. There's certain guys, like I'll go out with my girl all the time, went to a party and stuff like that. There's certain guys I don't care about. Like I legit, you go ahead and try, bro, because you're gonna fail.
Facts.
But trust me,
I say that all
there
the
is
time.
certain guys like they'll come. I'll grab her real quick. Like, I'm not gonna let because I know her
Like
type.
ice gold greens,
I
right?
know her type.
Like
So
ice
I
gold
know
greens.
who to not let get too close. And I know who to. Hey, you can go ahead and try all you want. 'Cause
Let them all
sparkling.
try. Let them all try.
He said he don't care how the Haitian man look. He do not let his woman talk to a Haitian dude.
Why not?
She
Because-
might like
well,
accents.
Come on, he's gonna take him.
I know.
Like he's gonna be like, he's gonna say something like, "Oh, he don't do that. He don't like that." Baby, I like that. And then so all of a
Because
sudden-
y'all motherfuckers do everything.
Yeah.
Between them
Wait,
and the
they do
Africans,
everything for everybody else but a Haitian.
Greg,
woman.
your whole face changes now.
I'm the exception, man.
he said, "Damn, they putting us out there."
Like she wanted. I'm making a trip to Haiti. By the way, I'll let y'all know what's up, right? And
Nobody.
no, to the Cameroon.
Oh, okay.
But I want to. Anyway, listen, we'll talk about that
We'll
after.
talk,
And she was like, "Yo, you know he not gonna let me go." First of all, she's thick as shit. That annoys
Oh
me.
nah. They gonna,
I be hating on her, but that's my girl.
I'll
I be
go
hating.
because they're gonna feed me.
You
they
got-
gonna feed
Yeah, they gonna feed you. They gonna
That's why I can't
Mommy,
date
you
a
told
Haitian.
Got it.
Plump it up.
I can't date Haitians or Africans.
gonna
'cause
marry you.
my family don't accept me. I'm too skinny. It's not that they're my type. I'm just too skinny. It's not for them. So,
You know, I'm a Haitian girl and I'm a size 6.
Can I-
My
please,
family
I've
smell
come
more
into
crack.
households.
Let me talk about something.
where they've been like, "Oh, you so skinny. You hungry?" And I'm like, "Of course, yeah, I eat. Not a problem. I don't,
Somebody gonna marry you. You go to Haiti, man.
I want to talk about something that Deshaun
Uh-huh.
just said.
I mean, if that's what I gotta
Nah,
get, I gotta
me.
go to Haiti
After
to
this,
get
we
married.
gonna brother, right?
I gotta go to Haiti to get a
It
husband.
ain't America. You
And
got
damn sure ain't.
So I want to mention something Tashawn just said that it seemed to just go everyone's head. She said that her friend, I guess the boyfriend, wouldn't allow her to go.
Yeah.
Why are we so possessive about our others? What do you mean you won't allow her? Like don't take offense because I'm looking at you. I'm just saying like,
offended. I just
why
don't
is
see
that a
nothing
thing
wrong
that
with
you're someone you're with is like, oh well, you can't go there for X reason. Like why we feel like we own
But
these people?
do you want your partner to be comfortable though?
Yeah, I'm
And
being
your-
honest.
what your
I
partner's
don't
saying
feel
is they're
he
not
owns-
comfortable.
He feels like he owns. I just feel like he feels like
He
I know
insecure?
what I have. Cause he's a pretty good guy. Like out of all my friends, she has the least beef when it comes to her man. So I think like deep down inside, he knows what he have too, and he's willing to sit back and be like, yo, I don't want to lose you like that. You get what I'm trying to say? Because even though,
But if they,
but honestly speaking, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Then why is he
No, but
worried?
honestly speaking,
Right,
I think
exactly.
I think it's just like he's joking, but.
In every
Truth.
joke, there's truth.
There's truth to
Absolutely.
it. So the
Absolutely.
Truth, the truth
Facts.
is, he knows
Facts.
for a fact his competition is a Haitian dude.
Okay.
That's
Well, okay, in that
that's,
sense.
that's what it is.
But if you holding it down, it's still
But
your
anybody can hold
focus.
it down.
Not everybody can do that.
No, not everybody
Let me
can
tell you
hold
something.
it
If
down.
you only take
How
a Haitian man
it,
to come up to your girl and tell her, "Oh, your
Right.
man do that," and she
No.
gonna
right, exactly.
I'm being- no,
Exactly.
I'm being
Something's
funny.
wrong.
I'm being funny.
I only use
I'm
my
being
powers for good.
no.
She said my
I'm
powers
being
was
funny.
good.
But everybody, like, let's just keep it real. A lot of people get with people that they're not 100% about. Like, for instance, this situation with her and him, she was 75%. He was 100.
Never gonna work.
Right?
That's right.
They making it work because they
It-
they make it may not work. You're right, but they're making it work. You know, but it's hard to sit back and say I want 100%. Like I want 100%, so I'm single. But I'm really single on the low because I have a son and I don't want him to see me with just a whole bunch of different men. But when I was before pre-child, pre-baby father, I was in the streets. I was having a good time. So
Interesting. Interesting. Guys, listen. Gonna move on to question number 3, and then after question number 3, we're gonna take a little quick break because
me too.
my man Ross came through with some grub. I see some grub over there.
I was about to
Grub
say,
over
like, we
there.
gonna do that during
So,
the cast?
no, we're gonna do it real quick. But question number 3. I'm very interested because I live in downtown Brooklyn. Downtown Brooklyn 5-10 years ago was Crips, Bloods, straight black, straight this. Now when you go outside, you see white people walking their dog, white people, like everything is catered to the white man, the white girl. With that being said, I'm gonna start with the guys here. What are your thoughts on dating interracially? Is it an issue dating white, dating
Because we got
Spanish?
St. Lucia sitting over here.
Right. Like,
Honestly,
what's your views
how
on
does
it?
the St. Lucian get involved first?
Because
I gotta ask
We're
you
talking
this.
about Greg. Hold on. Let's start with Hector first. Let's start with Hector
Hector?
first.
You know-
We gonna start with Hector
Go ahead.
first. What are your views
Interracially, you said.
on interracial dating? Correct.
not
What's
so
your
much
views?
you.
Right, correct.
Not
Like,
so
what's your
much
view?
you, but these two.
Oh, you know I only date black women. You can tell.
Hector, good.
It's something I've never.
My
seen a Haitian
views
with
on
a white girl.
interracial-
Yeah, so-
I only date black women.
My views on interracial dating is I really have no views because it's none of my business. If two people find themselves to being happy with each other, that's all that matters to me. Whether you're,
Would you date someone that's white or someone that's?
I theoretically I would, but I could never bring myself like with the confidence to go talk to a white or a Chinese person. I just don't have that. I don't feel like if I come up there with my little Caribbean accent and say, "Hey, baby, how you doing?" No, I don't think
They
that's
would
gonna
love
work.
that shit.
love
You
that.
kidding me?
I
They love
just
that.
never. I
Like,
just
oh
see
my
what
Say,
God.
what the hell is
no-
that?
They be like,
I
oh
just
my
never
God, that's
had
not
that
true. I don't
confidence
There's
for
no
sure.
level
But
of
they
a
like,
white
oh
man
my
that can
God.
touch that kind
That
of
sounds
flag,
so
boy. What you
exotic.
mean?
Buck it out.
They be going to
I
Haiti
don't-
getting
I'm
it.
that
Country,
serious.
country accent got nothing on the Caribbean accent.
Nothing, bro.
But seriously, I have no.
I do.
As far
I think that's
in a
a-
sense, as far as interracial dating is concerned, I think everyone should date as interracially as possible because there's 7 billion people in this world, and if you're gonna marginalize only like one group for whatever reason, I'm not knocking you for doing that. I'm just saying if you've been only dating or you've only been in one group for your entire life and it ain't work out yet, then at least open your horizons and see what you can find. Because
One of the reasons I
get
asked,
you, but for black people, it's a little different.
exactly because
As
one of the
African
reasons
mom, I can't back
That's
that.
not true.
one of the reasons I ask is because I have friends who are afraid to bring home a interracial person because of the reaction that they're gonna get. Don't bring no white man, don't bring no white girl around. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, I
So-
think the other races probably have it worse because we're looked at as the inferior amongst
Exactly.
everybody.
We more of a
Right,
threat
so-
to them than they are to
Right,
us,
good.
but they feel like that. But me personally, you know, I went to Queens College. I came across like white Jewish people, Asian people, Latinos. It was like honestly, I didn't feel nothing I ever got from a black woman when I went outside my race. Like even like the simple conversation, the connection, none of that shit was there. The reason why you feel like that, maybe you haven't been exposed to it, but once you do, you just feel like, what? What's the hype? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just how I feel. I feel like there's a lack of connection for me.
I never, there's no hype. I feel like I'm missing. I'm just saying, like me personally, I just never ventured there. Is it because I don't want to? No, I just never did it. I'm saying like I'm open to it. Well, I was open to it. But,
Right?
Be very careful, Hector.
Right, exactly.
Real quick,
I
real
was
quick.
open to it.
Layla, what's your nationality, girl?
I'm American, but I come from a Jamaican background.
Okay, so this was the conversation when we were younger. And Layla, tell me if I'm lying. You need a guy with nice hair, a nice color. Because you see, you're going to have children, you have to be able to comb their hair so they could be acceptable. So, West Indian men aren't given this conversation. They don't have this conversation with their parents unless they're Indian or Chinese.
I've been on
Right?
the opposite side of that.
Right? No, you don't. Most West Indian parents don't have that conversation with their sons because their son could walk outside and bag anybody.
No. What I'm saying is that I've been on the side of, he has nice hair.
Yeah, because you do, boo, but that's not what we're talking about, right? So
Make it
now,
about yourself.
so now,
Come on, Tashana.
in your mind, right? You're gonna sit back and say, "Oh, okay, I don't mind dating out of my race." Now, I'm one of them black girls. I don't have a typical black woman shape. When I wear my natural hair, Sean could tell you, I kind of look more Spanish. That's why I keep myself looking ethnic because I want a black man. But for the longest, I was surprised when I got with my son's father that he was black. My friends were surprised. Because before him, it was a Puerto Rican dude. Before the Puerto Rican dude, it was a Jewish guy. So it's like, and everybody would ask me this one question over and over again, like, do you get money? No, I don't get money. These men just seem to like me. So no, but the thing is, I think everybody should try it at least once. I just feel like, no.
Layla, what do you think? Have you?
Layla
Will
is
you? What's your
strongly against this.
Why won't
Layla, go ahead.
To burn.
Have you ever dated someone that was
No.
white? Will you?
No.
Listen, don't
No.
disrespect.
Why not?
Why not? Why not?
I see myself doing it.
I just can't. Like, yes, I have had that conversation that she's previously spoke about where, you bring the light-skinned guy and the nice hair. But that was never my interest. Like, when I saw a black man, I was attracted to that black man. I never got the attraction I got from a black man that I got from a white man.
I swear, it's just a huge.
Yo,
it's a
after a
huge
while, you
disconnect.
start feeling like for instance, what's my favorite line from black dudes? Like, you a real pretty girl, but they never really take me seriously like that. But that white dude is like, yo, you a real pretty girl. Can I please? Can I try? Can I please? Can I try? And the same thing with the Spanish man. And The thing is, I want a black man because I settled with my son's father. He was a nice guy, but he wasn't my nice guy. He's somebody else's, but he's not mine.
That's another Facebook quote.
And that's my quote actually. I wrote it down, so somebody took it, they used it.
Right.
Correct.
No, I'm saying that should be a
Correction.
Facebook quote right
Yeah,
there.
you can use it.
I will.
But make sure
I
you
got
put
you.
CC to Shauna
Of course.
content. Okay.
I mean,
Real quick before you say this, but for me, it's very hard for me to get black dudes. Like, and I'll be sitting back questioning my life.
Can
I do.
Can I tell you something?
Hold on, Greg. Does it bother you guys when you see rich people, a rich black person, or like a rich black dude dating a white girl? Because when Serena Williams had her baby with a white man, I heard conversation at work, on the bus, on the train, on the radio, of people that dislike that 100%, simply because the guy was white. So
I
does
feel
it like?
I feel like that was unfair because she
Definitely.
learned how to twerk for that cornball nigga Drake and
Yeah, she
Common
gave mad black
and
dudes
Facts.
chances.
She
and
did
Common
give
wrote
mad
a
black
book.
dudes
He
chances.
wrote a book
So I came in.
praising Erica Badu. Like, nigga, you should just got back with Erica if that's the case, and then say, I just want to give a shout out to my girl. Serena tried brothers. And
Facts.
I understand how that
Yeah.
feels.
That's
She
facts.
tried brothers.
Can I?
Black men,
That's not
I
fair.
hate to say it like this, black men have a certain type of black woman they like.
Yo,
And you cannot
it's
be
true,
all,
though.
you can't,
It's
if you
true,
all
though.
the way put the fuck together, they don't want it.
well, I mean,
And
when it
that's
comes
the
to
problem.
Serena
All the way
Williams and
put
the people
together?
that they're
Can we
dating,
come
when it
back?
comes to rich people, it really doesn't even matter to them whether it's about race. It's about finance. Honestly.
Definitely about money.
As long as they meet somebody that's on
So
their
why
level
Drake didn't
of
want Serena?
finance.
Cause he a
Why
punk.
Drake didn't
She's a
want
superior
Serena?
black. She's a
got
superior
money
black
too.
woman that's outside of his league. Regardless of how much they
Exactly.
money match up,
Money too.
she has a mind state that he wouldn't be able to
Yo.
I just don't wanna
connect
say
with.
that.
I don't know. I think the
You
rapper
know-
mind state from the sport, from a athlete mind state is. I
But-
think let's say the
Well,
rapper
Drake
is
educated,
higher.
so that-
Right.
you know,
He-
Drake
I
Drake
was.
is
I
educated,
couldn't
but
say
Drake
that.
is still
The way
half
his
Jewish, half
Light
whatever
skin.
he
But he's
is.
with a
So,
black
so
woman right now.
He's
So
with
that's
an ugly-
that guy.
what black woman he's with? Because he has a
That
baby
big-
out there he's
that
not
big-
claiming.
that big
According to
booty
Pusha T,
shit.
right?
What
Yeah,
big
see
booty
it?
girl?
Nigga,
The
see
porn store? You talking about porn store?
Evian. That's the one you have the child with.
I don't know, because I don't want
She's
nobody
not
suing
black.
us.
That's the one you have the child with. But the girl he's dating right now is a very black, voluptuous woman.
Okay. But that doesn't mean she still has. She's a
didn't
very
work.
black,
Just didn't
voluptuous
work.
woman that does not have the same finance as him. So do you see where balance
I
is?
don't think that's
In
it.
one
because
way,
I
he's
don't think that's
superior.
it. I don't think that's it. I
It
hate to
is.
say this.
It is because
I
I
don't
don't believe
think
that
so
Jay Z
either.
I
and
don't think
Beyonce
that-
are really in love. It's finance.
Oh,
I believe that too.
Nah,
I don't believe that Jay Z cheated. I don't believe that Jay Z cheated.
Yo,
I
that's what I'm
don't.
going back to.
It
Like,
has
I think
finance. They have to find somebody willing to accept them for what they have.
Beyonce's in love.
Beyonce's in love,
Um,
and Jay is learning to love himself and love her at the same time. Because he was living like an ugly.
But
dude
how
for
do
a
we
long
know
time.
that
He
Beyonce's in
was
love?
ugly.
No,
Yeah.
this certain
They're not
things
in
to
love.
say.
They're not in
I
love.
hate to say that.
Can I?
They're not in love. And
Let's
I'm gonna
agree
say
to
that.
disagree.
I'm
Can
gonna say
I-
they're not in love for the mere fact
Hector,
of.
Hector, bring us to break, please.
All right, let me- no, we don't. I don't want to bring to break. I just want to say,
No.
Wait,
Bring
I'll-
to
Bring
break.
us
Bring
a
to break.
break like he just
Oh.
said.
We gonna.
He the
Yeah.
moderator, so
my girlfriend right now, she makes more than me. She's also
That's
has,
another conversation.
She also has a master's degree. So in a sense, on
That's
paper,
another question, actually.
She would be the breadwinner of the house.
Right.
And it's one of those things where she has said to me on many occasions from the day we met that one of her biggest insecurities is that because she is educated and she's making money, guys have always felt intimidated by her.
Right.
And I've always said to her, well, no, you don't intimidate me.
Right.
You inspire me.
smart though. And you
No, not even that.
You smart.
You inspire me. Why? Because I play football. I'm an athlete. I don't see competition as something to put myself down. If you're I told her, trust and believe. The day my tax return comes back and is higher than yours, I will. It's gonna have a good party, but I will bring it up. I'm be like,
Well, don't
yes, I
squander it
finally
now.
made more money than you, and I expect her to take that same initiative the next year. Like, okay, I'm gonna go out and make more money than you, and then 20 years from now, when we both millionaires living life good, we gonna look back and like, this is good shit right here.
Well, don't
And I
forget
think
me
that that's
when
how
you
it
get rich,
should
bro.
be.
No.
Thank you. Brother. Listen, guys, listen. Pause right there. We got through 3 questions. Took us an hour to get through 3 questions. Good God. But anyway, some of y'all got a piece, some of y'all got to eat. So we're going to take a quick 5 break and we're going to come back, all right?